Hi everyone! So today we are going to be talking about UK versus US crochet terms. Now you might be thinking, what in the world is she talking about if you are still new to crochet? And I'm going to do my best to explain that here today. So most crochet patterns will tell you the term that they are written in, and that will either be the US or the UK term. So for example, I have a pattern with me today for a polar bear ragdoll. It's super cute. Right, let's take a look at what's in this pattern. As you can see, it tells you quite a lot of information before we even get into the steps. The important part to note is the abbreviations. This one is written in US terms. If you were to crochet this pattern using the wrong term, you could end up with a project that is either too big or too small. Now this has happened to me before in my early days of crochet. So the way I learned was actually using US terminology, but I didn't actually know that at the time. I just knew single crochet, double crochet, half double crochet, etc. So the first time I tried to make one of these cute little guys following a pattern, I did not realize that it was actually written in UK terms. So every time I was seeing double crochet or DC, I just naturally crocheted in double crochet as to what I knew that to mean, being the US term. I ended up with a really large toy when what I wanted was this cute guy. So what happens is, instead of these really small tight-knit stitches, you end up with these large gaping holes and the stuffing starts coming out and it looks sloppy and totally untidy. So that was a really big lesson learned. So I'm going to show you a chart that I have that will hopefully explain this a little better. So if we take a look at our chart and just do a very quick comparison, you will see that chain and slip stitch are the same, or essentially very similar. It's when we get to single crochet that the US, it's pretty straightforward. It says single, SC for abbreviation, but then on the UK side, it's actually called a double crochet. Now, this is where I struggle just a tiny bit, where that doesn't actually make any sense to me. They are the same stitch, you perform them the same way, but they've called them completely different things. Then let's take a look at the half double crochet. HDC for abbreviation, pretty straightforward, easy to understand, but they've gone and called it a half treble crochet. So it's again completely different, and you will note that for the rest of this chart they are completely different. The only term I like to use that comes from the UK side is the word tension. That just makes a bit more sense to me. You know, you're either going to crochet really tight or really loose. Let's do a quick side comparison between the single crochet and the double crochet. Now, as you can see, the single crochet on the left is a lot smaller than the double crochet on the right. So if I was to accidentally crochet using double crochet instead of single crochet, you could see how my project could turn out really large with gaping holes in between. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you which one is correct or not. I am going to share with you that I like to use the US because the terms just make sense to me. So if I am looking for a pattern and it's not something I know how to do straight off the bat, I make sure that I go and look for something written in the US terms, or just very carefully look at the notes before starting.